Hello! This is Yahweasel. Let's Doki Doki some Literature Club. In the last episode... Oh yeah, I usually start... Professionalism. I usually start with, in the last episode, so-and-so, and I haven't done that for the first, 9 episodes of this. Oops. Oh well, you hopefully saw the last episode. I want you to kneel down next to Sayori and gently kiss her. No, talk to her. Just my imagination. But she's keeping her voice so quiet I can't hear her from here. I sigh and sit myself down. I know Sayori told me not to worry about her and I have to have fun and to have fun with everyone else. But that's impossible to do when she's behaving like this. Exactly how much do I care about her that I'm letting this weigh down on me so much? It's almost like I'm a human being. Now it feels like I'm the one behaving out of the ordinary. But there's nothing I can do besides talk to Monica. Why does it feel like I'm being watched? I glance around the room. Suddenly, I notice Yuri peering at me from over her book. But she looks away just as quickly with a flustered look on her face. Like because we were supposed to be reading together? Like last time. I realize that she won't get anywhere like this. What? I've never really seen Yuri approach anyone or start a conversation on her own accord. So I have no choice but to approach her myself. By now, it's a little easier for me to do that. I stand up from my desk and sit in the one next to her own.
I don't mean to be a bother to you. I don't mean to bother you or anything.
Relax, you don't even do anything? Okay?
But I could tell that you wanted to be alone with your thoughts.
Alone with my thoughts? How are you even able to tell I was thinking like that?
Well, it's something that I do a lot, so it wasn't hard for me to spot based on your posture and expression. Not that I was staring or anything. I didn't do anything creepy like that. In any case, I guess you...
Oh, this is me. In any case, I guess you were right. I'm sorry if I caused you any concern.
Don't apologize. Your troubles are only the concern of those willing to share in that concern, which I'm not, so don't worry about it. I don't care about your life. You can go die now. Of course, there are certainly those who find the most comfort in keeping to themselves. But if you would prefer to share what's on your mind, then I would be glad to listen.
It's really not that big of a deal. I was just feeling a bit uneasy about Sayori.
Sayori?
Yeah, she seems a little off today, but when I asked her about it, she just attacked me and stabbed me. See, there's blood trickling down here. She didn't want to admit it to me. So I can't help but wonder if something's happened to her.
Oh? That's quite romantic?
Nani?
Sorry. I didn't mean to say something stupid.
It's not that, I just don't want you to misunderstand. Sayori and I have just been friends with benefits for a long time, that's all.
I see. Then perhaps it is unusual for her to be dismissive to you about her feelings.
Or maybe that's what friends with benefits are, that's like the definition. I'm just reading into it a little bit too much.
Giannis, the world is full of meaning, often hidden deep beneath plain sight. And there are many untold mysteries behind every person, no matter how well you may know them.
Ah, so you think that there might be something behind it after all?
I think that Sayori is a very complex person. Her mannerisms on the outside don't always match what may be going on inside her head. And she may not always know what she wants, but she always knows what she needs. I noticed her strange behavior today, so... And also... two probably was what that said. And I also feel some concern for her. But in your case, it looked like she was fully occupying your thoughts, wasn't she?
Well, I guess that was the case.
Sayori, she really means a lot to you, doesn't she?
I guess. I mean, if it wasn't for her, I'd have to go back to masturbating, so yeah, pretty much. But you don't need to put it that way. We're just good friends, that's all. Just good friends with benefits. Yuri suddenly looks deeply into my eyes. Her expression is gentle and curious, as if she was searching for something. Embarrassed, I avert my gaze.
Sometimes, a person's mysteries are untold even to themselves, and you, as someone honest and caring, may uncover feelings you weren't aware of in you. That is, I think that. She would be a very fortunate person to have you feel that way about her.
Yuri, you're giving me too much credit. I literally don't have feelings. I am not like a fully developed adult human being. I'm a pretty simple guy. I'm actually not even a person. I am a weasel. So I think I'm pretty good at understanding my own feelings. I'm not nearly as sophisticated as you.
That's not a compliment, is it?
It is what it is. Anyway, as long as we're here, why don't we do some reading?
Well, as long as you're okay with it.
Yeah, I should be taking my mind off this whole thing anyway. Why don't we go ahead and get started?
Yes, let's. Actually, I have a request. Do you mind if I make some tea first?
Not at all.
Thanks very much. If there's one thing that can make my reading time here any better, it's a nice cup of tea. Not to mention for yourself as well.
Yuri stands up and makes her way to the closet. I follow and watch as he retrieves a small water pitcher from the shelf, the kind with a filter inside.
Can you hold this for a second?
Sure. Yuri hands me the water filter and also fetches an electric kettle.
I'm going to plug this in at the teacher's desk and then we'll go get some water.
She walks past me and sets the kettle down on the teacher's desk. I simply watch her movements. To my surprise, the way she moves really contrasts her speaking and mannerism because she just sort of lumbers around like a bear. Water. Especially because of her long legs, Yuri appears elegant and methodical.
Okay, may I have the water pitcher? Thanks, I'll be right back.
I may as well walk with you.
Yeah, why not? Shall we go then?
Yeah. Where are you two off to?
Nani?
Yuri was going to make some tea, so I suddenly realized how weird it sounds to explain this to Monica. We're just filling the water pitcher. Oh, okay. Sorry, I was just a bit curious. That's kind of a one-person job, isn't it? That's,
Monica, please mind your own business for once. Or do you want to tell me there's something wrong with helping involve Giannis in club activities?
Nani? My mouth gapes. I suppose there's nothing wrong with that.
Huh. Then let's go, Giannis.
Ah. Yuri quickly exits the room and I follow. Once in the hallway, her eyes drop out of her head as she suddenly puts her forehead against the wall.
I spoke without thinking. How could I say something like that?
Yuri.
Something about the way she said that made me feel so irritated that the music stopped. What's wrong with me?
No, just your voice, mainly. I mean, people can get used to it. That's really the only problem, to be honest. No, Yuri, I think you did the right thing. I wasn't expecting it, but it's also not right for Monica to judge people like that.
Giannis, how come even when I do something bad, you're being nice to me?
Because! Yeah, that's a reason. Nothing that you do is as bad as you make it seem in your head. Nobody's perfect. We have emotions and we can't always hide them away. But you always amplify things in your head. Your mind turns a light rain shower into a hurricane.
Ah, that explains all the murder. No. Wouldn't you hate me for something as terrible as that?
Why would I hate you? I can't hate someone for having emotions. What kind of friend would do that?
But my emotions tell me to kill. Friend, you say?
Yuri lifts her head.
Giannis, I'd really like being friends with you.
Ha ha ha. Thanks, Yuri. I like being friends with you too. Is this how humans talk? No? Okay, got it. I feel kind of awkward saying something like that because that's not how humans communicate, but I'm doing my best to help Yuri feel better. Anyway,
yeah. Shall we go?
Yeah. Yuri and I walk to the nearest water fountain. Once we fill up the water pitcher, we return to the classroom.
Giannis, do you like oolong tea?
Yeah, I lie. Anything is fine.
Very well.
Yuri sets the temperature on the kettle to 200 degrees. What? Okay, wait, what? What? That's very hot. That's exceptional. What? Okay, A, kettles don't usually have a temperature dial. And B, I guess maybe it's the burner is at 200 degrees? But then that's not a kettle. I don't understand.
Now it's time to get the teapot.
You really do this properly, don't you?
Of course. I shouldn't do any less when I'm making tea for others.
Even if I'm not an expert on tea or anything?
Hoo-hoo! In that case, you'll only be even more impressed.
Perhaps I will. Yuri fetches the teapot and begins measuring tea leaves. To my surprise, she even starts humming a little to herself. You must be in a good mood now.
Is that so? I was letting it show, and you noticed. I was doing a bit of thinking, and I decided that I would try expressing myself a little bit more. Turns out it's not very hard for me to do, when it's you who's around anyway.
Aw, that's great, Yuri. Just don't push yourself too much.
You're always worrying about me, Giannis. Very endearing.
That's, Yuri wasn't kidding. I don't even know if I can keep up with this. I watch her pour a cup of tea for each of us.
Giannis, I have another request. Do you mind if we sit on the floor today?
Nani? Why's that?
It's just a little bit easier on my back. I can read with my back against the wall rather than bending over at my desk.
Sorry, I didn't realize.
No worries. I just have back pain fairly regularly, so I do my best to manage it.
Wonder why she has back pain regularly. It's very hard to guess why that would happen. Is that so? Wonder why that is. I wonder why that is.
It's most likely because
Your posture, right? Always hunched over like that while reading.
Yes, that's what I was saying. I have terrible reading posture, so that's why I should sit on the floor.
Fair enough. I'll go ahead and get the book. I retrieved the book from my bag. I have some chocolate as well. It's a bag of small chocolate candies that I kept hidden from Sayori's candy radar. How dare she have a candy radar? I take it, since it'll go well with the tea. Yuri and I then sit against the wall, teacups at our sides. As if in sync, we assume the same reading position as last time, each holding one half of the book. Except this time, our bodies are even closer to each other. I can't see too well. This is what happens to my voice when I drink tea. Voice is starting to hurt me a bit. I might change it up a bit. Yuri slides closer until our shoulders are touching. How am I supposed to focus on reading like this? Yuri was always kind of cute, but when she's being less apprehensive, it's almost more than I can handle. Your teacup! Yuri hands me my teacup. Holding it with my hands that's not holding the book, I end up in a position that makes it even harder to focus. Because now I need to worry about making sure I don't accidentally touch her chest. Meanwhile, Yuri hasn't noticed a single thing. She wears her intense reading expression, and I can only presume the world around her has faded away. I use all of my willpower to focus on reading. After a few minutes, I finally manage to relax a little. Put the teacup between my legs and fumble with the chocolate wrapper. Sorry. I briefly let go of the book to finish opening the wrapper. You can have as much as you want. That's okay. I won't take any. Are you sure?
Well, if I touch it, then it might get smudges on the pages.
Oh, you're right. That's a good reason for me not to have any. I didn't even think about that. My bad.
No need to apologize. This is your book after all. I'll hold the book, okay?
Are you sure?
Of course. I'm quite capable of holding a book.
Yuri opens the book with both hands and just holds it in front of her face, so I can't read it at all. Thanks, Yuri. Real helpful. She holds it so that I don't have any harder of a time reading from it. But as a result, her left arm is practically resting on top of my leg. Oh, my heart, it is a flutter. Well, in that case, she's already totally focused on reading again. I take a chocolate candy and pop it in my mouth. Then I take another chocolate and I hold it up to Yuri. She doesn't even look away from the book. She simply parts her lips as if this situation was completely natural. That means I can't stop here. I apprehensively place the chocolate in her mouth. Just like that, she closes her lips over it. No? Clearly her mouth is nowhere big enough to fit this chocolate in. I think you have to break it down into just little flakes, because she has like a fish mouth. That's the most she can manage. Yuri's expression suddenly breaks.
Did I just...
Yuri looks at me like she needs to confirm what just happened.
Giannis.
Sorry. I guess I shouldn't have done that.
Well, you were just helping. That's something that, friends do, right? I mean...
Oh, wait, that's me again? I mean, not really in this kind of context, but sure. Yeah. That's all it was.
Yeah, that's all it was. Then you don't need to stop or anything.
I see. Situation has gotten really tense. Yuri tries to return to the book, but I can tell just by her expression that even she can't focus now. My heart is pounding. I nervously take another chocolate between my fingers. This time, Yuri's eyes meet mine. How did it even come to this? She doesn't avert her gaze. I notice her chest rising and falling to the rhythm of her breaths. I raise my arm. Like before, Yuri parts her lips. But it's different this time. I take the chocolate and place it in her mouth. I feel her hot breath on my fingers. Okay, everyone. No! Yuri jolts back. It's time to share poems. Jonas, you can help Yuri put away the tea stuff, right? Yeah, of course. Okay, thanks. The spell is abruptly broken.
I'll take care of the cups.
Yeah. Yuri picks up the teacups from the floor. I pick up the bag of chocolates. In the end, we hastily clean up without so much as a word between us. I get the feeling this is something neither of us will have the courage to bring up, ever. Who should I show my poem to first next time? Until then, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, you can help decide what I play next at yahweasel.com/poll. Cheers from Yahweasel.